Winnipeg, home to the Worlds for the third time. And from this pretty view along the banks of the Red River, we get the feeling that spring is in the air at last. Finishing fourth last year in Bismarck has fired up Canada's Colleen Jones. She has racked up 3 straight wins in her 3rd consecutive appearance at the Worlds. Jones and her Mayflower mates stand alone atop the women's standings on day 3. Switzerland is only 1 win back of the front-runners. Nicole Strausak is making her skipping debut at the Worlds. After knocking off Sweden and Scotland on Saturday, the Swiss Miss ran into veteran Dorothy Nordby and lost for the first time Sunday. Good morning again, everyone. I'm John Wells, along with Kathy Gauthier, all dressed up like Don Cherry here this morning for day 3 at the Worlds. We've got Canada versus Switzerland, and what do we know about this Nicole Strausak team?
Well, what we do know is that they have 2 very good shooters at the back end position. It is Selena Beaulieu, who is the 3rd on paper, but throws that 4th rock, John. And one of the things that we say when you skip is that if you cannot draw, you cannot skip. At the Europeans this year, when she needed to put it in the forefoot, it's exactly what she did.
Nicole Strausak will call the shots and play 3rd. She can make the shots from that position, though.
She sure can. She makes a lot of them. This is not about pressure. It is about her making the big tactical calls while she is the skip. When she's got to make them, boy, she can make some big shots.
Little doubt that Canada's Colleen Jones is the class of this field, although the Jones team from Halifax did struggle in their match yesterday.
They did. They didn't do everything right. They were a little deep, a little heavy, but important to note, 3 out of those 4 players are the top shooter, and the one who isn't, that's the second Marianne Way, and it is the Swiss Miss who leads all seconds.
Switzerland just 1 win behind in a 5-way tie for 2nd spot at 2-1. Canada's Colleen Jones leads the way with 3 straight victories here at the Worlds.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Wake up at the Worlds, the 2003 World Curling Championships, live from the arena in Winnipeg. It is day 3, draw number 6. And we shift back to the women's draw for these matches this morning on Sheet A. It'll be home versus McCormick. That's Denmark against the United States. Norberg takes on Nordby. 2 teams at 2-1. Sweden versus Norway. Next door on Sheet C, Italy against Scotland. And the Scots are looking for their first win, which is somewhat surprising. Russia at 2-1. Yarkova against Aota. Japan is at 2-1. And the Russians are looking for their 2nd victory. The feature match this morning, of course, is Canada's Colleen Jones against Switzerland and Strausak. Time now to read the ice. As always, brought to you by Ford, built for life in Canada.
We have had, and we do have, huge curl on this ice, 4.5 feet, almost 5 around the center guards. To the wings, in-turn or out-turn side. Again, you get that huge warping up to 4.5 feet. Traditionally, we do see the wings a little straighter, and it is about 4 feet. What we find, though, is the rocks run straight, and then they really start to move. If you wait until you see the movement, it's too late.
No complaints anywhere about the ice all week long in Winnipeg. Canada will have the last rock as we begin play on the far sheet over there on Sheet E.
They're very true across the board, John. Whether you're on A or whether you're on E, it doesn't really matter. We've got lots of movement. That's what the curlers want. And we are truly blessed by having ice makers like Hans Wuthrick, Eric Monfort, Mark Schurig, their entire crew, who work so hard to keep the conditions consistent.
Okay.
No complaints at all about the movements. And it's up to Nancy Delahunt now, who leads among leads in the championship so far, curling 90%.
Those are phenomenal numbers. When you think about 90% in one game, that's a very good number, but that's her average. Some great numbers. This, of course, is the lady that has worked so well with Colleen in the house, holds the broom for her and leads those discussions. It's a comfort for Colleen.
Ja.
Bianca Roth-Litzberger, 23, played in 2 World Junior Championships for Switzerland.
Like the man this Swiss team determined last year. Spent about 3 weeks in Canada this year playing in 3 different women's bondsbills, trying to improve the level of their play. And also get familiar with some of the Canadian teams they might face here.
Clean.
Interesting day for Canada against Denmark. The score flattered the Canadians a little bit in some ways. It was 13-7. But at one point, Denmark came back and had a 5-4 lead playing in the 7th end, and then Colleen blew it open with a 3-ender. But there were a few misses by the Canadian team yesterday. So,
well, I think Linda wrapped it up really well when she said at one point, you know, this is just a really weird game. And it just felt awkward. I think watching the Canadians, they were going through the motions. They were making some shots, but they certainly allowed the other team chances to make some shots. And Dorothy Holm just couldn't seem to do that.
Swiss team opened strongly with back-to-back wins on opening day before suffering a loss yesterday to drop to 2 wins and 1 loss.
Colleen, we have hammer. We have hammer. We do, don't we? Yes, thank you.
It's a morning draw, and we're all waking up.
See, Colleen, if you look behind you there on the board, there's a little hammer down there that reminds you of it. See right there behind Marianne?
And of course, that comment was because where Colleen was standing would have been what you would take for a center guard. In fact, with Last Rock, you play to the wings and you play in the house, and that's what Marianne is doing.
A little fun, a little foggy in the morning, and it's a very early start.
I could see that.
8 o'clock local time.
It's the first time we've had hammer. Right. Automatic replay. Nice shot, Marianne. Sit. Good shot. I got 85. Yeah.
Interesting choice by Nicole. One of the things that Colleen played with Marianne's is left it tight. Thought they could use it as a corner guard. Sometimes we see the European teams play very aggressively in the first end. Elimination of this stone says they're not ready to play hard yet, especially with the roll-off, not trying to get the center.
Ice times are brought to you by the Government of Canada. You're on.
Well, really quick, John. There's no question. Between the two hog lines, early in the game, we look for 14.5 to 15. Those times will slow to about 14 as we get later. Timing of the sweeping is so key. It's not only about the movement, but you can wait and wait and wait.
I don't know.
You know it's going to go in this time. Just tell by the pad.
You can see the swing Kathy was talking about in reading the ice.
Shot. Man.
Almost the identical shot.
It's
the previous one.
It is phenomenal how much those rocks move, John, and what that says is that when you're playing the guard game, if you're not going to be really tight to the house, you need to take extra ice, because if that rock is much higher, it almost becomes useless.
Just 2 rocks in play, both out of the rings. Nicole Strausak, listed as the skip on this team, but throwing third stones.
In a little bit of interesting I'm sleeping this morning too, Nicole grabbed the red stones that belong to Canada. Our team pointed out that she may want to be a Canadian, but it's important to throw yellow. So we're all
at least on this draw.
Absolutely.
They get a shot at reds later in the day.
Yeah.
2 yellow stones belonging to Switzerland, both outside the rings.
Okay. Stark, sit.
Kim Kelly at 82% in familiar territory, leading the pack first among thirds.
We
Should be
certainly do
lots.
expect that from Kim. We've
Yep.
seen her over and over in a variety of positions from second
Line
to
only.
third. At Scott Tournament of Hearts play, always up high in the numbers. Chance for Canada to get behind that guard.
Hard. Hurry, 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 hurry. Way back, way back, way back. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They'll take it just
That's a
behind the
backwards
T-line.
sweep.
Canada in its third straight World Curling Championship with Colleen Jones representing the nation at 3-0, leading the standings. And then there's that 5-way tie, Kathy, for second spot, all at 2-1. Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, USA, and Japan, maybe somewhat surprisingly.
You
at 2-1.
bet.
The other surprise, I would think, is Scotland at 0-3
No
to
question.
begin.
That is a surprise, not only because until this event is over, Scotland owns the world title in women's. Also the gold medalist last time the Olympics were played.
Jackie Lockhart winning last year in Bismarck. Colleen Jones the year before in Lausanne. Kelly Law the year prior to that in Glasgow. For the last 3 world women's champions.
Nicole looking for about bumper easy weight, trying to remove the stone just thrown by Kim Kelly.
Oh.
And both, or at least 2 yellow rocks disappear. Not part of the game plan there for Strausak. Canada with the hammer here in the first end. Here's Kim Kelly's second delivery.
Hard. Hurry. Hard. Hurry hard. Hard. Right up. Hard, 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 hard. Right up, right up, right up. Stay. Right over. I can't sweep it. Yeah, good.
Kim got a little bit of a break there, John. If she doesn't make contact with the second red one, her shooter's rolling out.
Canada lies 2 as a result of that.
You hear the reference to not being able to sweep. We remind you that at world rules, it is only the skip.
The player in the hack, basically, right?
The person that is
They're
acting
calling
as
the
the skip.
game.
That's Colleen. Only one that can sweep behind the T-line.
Thin double.
Thin double is the call for sure, John. Anywhere a third on the outside. If it hits a little bit thicker, they have the option of playing the hit and roll on top of it as well.
God,
Looking for 2 and a wide open miss. That could prove very, very costly to this young Swiss team
Sorry.
this early in the match. Canada with the hammer here, and this is just a wide open miss by Selena Brilou.
She took a lot of ice, John, and she threw a lot of weight, and that's not a good combination.
Talking it over with the skip, Nicole Strausak, who throws third stones. So the back end of that Swiss team has a tough first end already.
That's that dreaded out-turn spot.
Yes, it is. Straight as it is. Where are you going?
I'm going top 12 out-turn side to protect that one a little bit.
Okay.
I just think that's a really makeable hit and roll or a double, but more importantly, it would hit and flop. I don't mind giving her the double over here.
Okay.
I'm afraid she might hit and roll, and I wouldn't get, we'd only get a 1. What am I throwing, a 5?
Colleen, the leader among skips after 3 draws.
Just 12 foot, you guys. Easy, that's lots. Line's fine.
Colleen would like to bite a piece of the paint to be lying 3.
We're to it. Right to it, Nance.
Okay.
This is what we talked about in terms of the ice numbers. These rocks,
Bump it a little.
especially early in the game, slide and slide.
A little bump.
Okay.
Okay.
Seem happy enough with
Hit
that.
and roll different. Triple though.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Now I've given her triple.
the triple like this.
Keep the soft move.
Makeable, but not that easy.
It's certainly makeable, and with the house as lively as it is, John, this shot is very makeable. The question is how she hits it and the weight that she can throw. And we'll have a look at what Selena can do right now.
And the memory of her first brick in this end is lingering there too, I'm thinking. Canada lying 3 with the hammer in 1. Final stone for Switzerland's Selena Brilou. Has a chance to make up for her previous mistake. Looking at 3 Canadian stones in the house. There's 1, 2.
That's a nice shot.
Pretty nice.
Stop right there.
And it's not going to be the shot stone, however. So there is the opportunity for a couple for Colleen Jones with her final stone to come.
Well, and for Selena, it turned out really well. Watch her body there. It starts to drift sideways. Watch that back foot trailing. She's very fortunate because usually when that happens, that rock is going to be curling a whole lot more as she's sort of hydroplane. A draw
Canada has
for
the shot stone, a draw for 2 for Colleen Jones.
Could have been much worse for the Swiss team for sure. At least Selena got them out of a little bit of trouble.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, it'll drive me crazy. You what? Well, I just figured if I thought I'd be hurrying. Okay, I won't.
Same weight will work.
Well, that was a little firm, though, wasn't it? You tapped.
A little, but it would still be in the ballpark.
Final stone, Colleen Jones. Unhappy with her first after giving Switzerland the opportunity for the triple. Swiss take the double, and Colleen Jones has the opportunity with her last rock to count 2 in the first end.
The ability to take these rocks a long way. Usually we talked about 14 and a half. That's 15 and a half. Great brushing. Can they get it? Wow, that slid a long way.
Super brush right there for 2 red stones. Count them up on Canada's side of the board.
2 red.
Lots of high pressure experience for this team, the Mayflower and Halifax.
Perfect hit.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
Day 3, draw 7. Here is what has happened so far at the morning matches in Winnipeg. It is the United States' Debbie McCormick leading Denmark 1-0. Sweden and Norway, both teams at 2-1. And the first end blanked by Sweden. Italy trailing Scotland 1-0. Scots looking for their first win. Russia and Japan, first end blanks by Olga Yarkova. And it's zeros on the board there. Now playing in the third end. And to our game, Colleen Jones gets the wonderful deuce to get things rolling for Canada here in the 4th game.
Some very nice shots made for Team Canada, especially after yesterday's outing where just things weren't clicking very well. Flying 3 at one point. Colleen making the draw for 2.
Good, Nance.
Nice shot, Nance.
When we were out for dinner last night, we did run into the Swiss team and had a very nice chat, particularly with Selena, who I had a chance to compete against in 1995. And their position was that Nicole has the best tactics on the team. They felt that she would be the best person to skip, and Selena likes the challenge of throwing last rock. And that's the combination that has worked for this team.
Nothing in play.
Yep.
There's Miss Selena. Right behind her shortly will be her sister. That is a twin. Selena and Madeleine Berleux.
You can tell them apart because they have different hairdos. Selena is a pharmacist. Madeline, a molecular biologist. Pretty smart family, I'm guessing.
I would say so.
Biology was never one of my strong suits. Of course,
What
not any
was?
physics or chemistry or
Hard all the
math.
way. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Tight as you
Team
can.
Canada trying to get this stone right in the house. They're very,
Ooh,
very
good.
tight. Colleen very comfortable with play when it's in the house,
And
when she does
403.
not have last rock.
That's pretty darn slow.
It is.
Madalena
Pizza.
in her third
Marta.
appearance at the Ford Worlds.
Yeah. Hurry. Hurry, fasty, hurry. Hurry, hurry. Good.
Not gonna roll on the other way. No, I guess
A
not.
little question what Colleen will do with this yellow stone, or at least attempt to do.
I guess it's not so much a question that she's removing it. What you heard
Yep.
Kim say from the hack is
Hard.
one of the options is removing it and rolling
Hurry.
it back to where the stone was
Right up.
before. A center guard, something Colleen could use. What the call was is the hit and the roll out, which is exactly what Marianne has done.
Nothing in play.
I threw the 4.
You threw the 4.
Yeah. I remembered again.
Final stone for the Swiss second, Madalena Berleux.
Hoe is je? Vingeren na. Vingeren achter is goed. Ja?
Switzerland trying to
Want wenn sie draufschwimmen, ich kann drauf friesen.
set a little something up.
Oh, die Finger runter. Gut so.
Rock sliding a
Yeah,
little
a
bit
little deep.
further than they wanted, but still in play, and that's all that counts.
Sweden, Norway, second end. That's Dorothy Nordby against Annette Norberg.
And those are two teams, John, that play each other a lot, just by nature of geographic placement of where they're from. And for Doherty, we often talk about her challenges in round robin play because she's almost bored with playing the straight draw and the hit, but this lady can draw, and
Both-
that's what she's having to do here.
Both teams at 2 and 1. Nordby facing 2 and a draw for 1. Chance to get on the board first. And little doubt about her draw weight this morning. She's got that. And 1 for Norway.
Extreem fijn.
Replacement of that stone at the back of the house that was the Swiss stone. And now, interestingly enough, on Nicole's shot, wants to play a little bit of aggression, and what she's doing is playing the freeze down to the Canadian stone. First time this end we've seen her actually try to
Okay,
use
richtig
her
goed, hè?
last rock advantage to maybe play a little bit. Up until now, it's been pretty defensive.
Yep. Richtig. Richtig. Voll. 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 Oh.
Oh, and it slides by. Will it hang on for a nibble? Yes. But Canada has the shot stone on another
Toch base.
miscue.
Can you see Kim with those girls?
Just curls so much, John, that you have to take extra ice. She could have corner frozen on the other side if it doesn't curl as much, but where it wound up is not too useful.
Out. Get out.
Shooter rolls away. Canada lies 1. Half in the 8s.
I'd like to put that stone right in front there. Make it tough,
Sexy.
a little tough for Colleen.
Charlie Mays.
Same shot, taking a little bit more ice this time.
7-4 as a world junior skip for a silver medal. Nicole Strausak playing in her 4th Worlds. Definitely open for Jones.
Just a little bit less weight on that one, John, still, but enough that it taps it back, gives Colleen a relatively easy shot.
I don't mind staying there. I don't mind losing the back one either if
That's what it wants to do.
if it wants to do that.
No worries for Colleen if she's able to remove that back
Can you
stone.
stand in front of the red rock?
The
In front of
issues.
it? Can you stand in front of the red?
So she really wants to
The issue,
blank
John,
out the thought of that red stone there so she
can't
can
see.
zero in on the yellow, right?
She can't see from Colleen sitting in the hack today. They've got black tights on. They've got black. In the back, it's black. She's just having a really hard time with the depth perception of finding where that stick is.
Hurry! Gotta go hard!
An incredible run for Colleen Jones. 5 Canadian curling championships. Got Tournament of Hearts. The shooter will roll out as well.
Even better.
Not unhappy about that
Yeah.
in
Look,
reality.
a pretty good throw. It looked fine to me as well. Yeah.
Just curls hard at the end.
Jamming on the back, and the shooter rolls aside as well.
I mean, it stayed straight for a while.
Yeah.
You know, look, had a
Yeah.
nice line for a while. Yeah.
First chance for Selena to find draw weight in the first end. Had 2 hits.
In her 3rd Ford Worlds. Played in 95 in Brandon. Record of 4 and 5. And in 98 in Kamloops. You were in Brandon, weren't you?
I was
Zet
indeed.
Langus, wo is het? Zet Langus. Kijk, zet kwijt doet. Ja. Kijk, wat zo.
Nicely done. Selena finding draw weight right on the tee. For Colleen, would very much like to stick on this one. Will make the blank a little more challenging for the team from Switzerland.
On the beak. Sure.
Final stone for Canada's Colleen Jones here in the 2nd end. Good start for Canada. 2 width in the first end to get a nice little comfort level going against this team from Switzerland with 2 wins and 1 loss. Canada standing at a perfect 3-0 heading into this day.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Girl.
The hits, and she stays right there, so that'll
Is that
force
pretty firm though? Yeah, I think. Can I do where your grip is?
Selena Brilou to
Wasn't terrible.
hit and roll out to blank the 2nd end.
I don't think it was a 9.
Well, they're still waiting for the team supporters to arrive from Halifax. Colleen and her mates are waiting for children and husbands who are grounded in Toronto. Party of 8 Jones waiting to get to Winnipeg, and hopefully sometime today the gang will all get here.
And that's tough because Kim, I know on the first night, it was her birthday, was hoping to celebrate with her family. They've not been able to come. For Colleen, her mom would be attending her 2nd ever championship to watch Colleen, which is pretty amazing considering the number of championships. Nancy's family still in Toronto as well. We hope that you get here soon too.
Might be watching in the lounge at the airport at Pearson this morning. Or they might be on a flight.
Catch is just enough, John.
It'll roll the shooter aside as well as the Canadian stone. So Switzerland able to blank the second end. Bit of a recovery for this team from the Bern Curling Club. From the arena in Winnipeg, the 2003 World Curling Championships. Wake up at the Worlds. We're awake here.
We
Into
are.
the third end. Canada's Colleen Jones off to a good start, picking up 2 in the first.
She did, and they're throwing the rock really well this morning, John. They're putting the stones where they want them to be.
Fine. Cup 4. Easy. Easy.
Why do some of our 93s go further than others?
Whoa.
Sorry about that. I led you down the garden path.
And a little deep on top of that. Throwing lead stones for Switzerland's Nicole Strausak.
Ultra fine.
Bianca Roethlisberger, a student in mass media communication back home.
By that rock sliding deep in the house, it allows the Strausak team to ignore the stone, going to the corner guard game, trying to use the 4-guard rule to generate some chances to score multiple points against the Canadian team. It's a little bit too high, John. Even something buried there, because the rocks curl so much, would be accessible, and the best way to protect against that is to get in there first, and that's what Colleen is asking Nancy to do.
Nancy Delahunt's waiting for the family to arrive along with the rest of this team representing Canada. Gang should be here today. Jane and Kevin
Wait, you guys.
are the kids.
Not deep, you guys. Whoa, you got tons of room.
David, her husband, referred to as Captain Canada often. He's the gentleman you often see in the crowd with the bandana around his head.
Yeah, wears funny hats a lot.
Red and white. You bet. He's very proud.
Nice shot.
Should be of this team that has been here 3 years in a row, winning in Lausanne, and that was the end of a long drought for Colleen Jones at the World Championships to win. And then last year in Bismarck, I don't know if they just ran out of steam or what happened, but it wasn't a particularly great week, and Canada finished 4th in Bismarck last year. So that's a haunting memory for this Canadian team here.
It has been, and they've been very open about that they just were left with a very bad feeling about it, and they really wanted to get back here for all kinds of reasons. One of them is to prove to themselves more than anyone else that they can win at the world level.
Jetzt runter. Tiens. Ho, ho. Tiens. Ho, ho, ho.
Winning back-to-back is not always that easy, and it hasn't been done on the men's side since 1970-71 when Don Duguid of Winnipeg did it. In women's curling, a little easier. Doherty Nordby won it in 90 and 91 here in Winnipeg. Gustafson also won back-to-back worlds. Here's Marianne Way.
Yep.
Talked in the opening about Marianne being the only Canadian not at the top of the leaderboard, but we should let you know that she is in second by only 1%. So she certainly is right up there with the other shooters from Team Canada. And a great shot there, not only the removal of the stone, but the roll to the inside.
3 red stones in the house. One of the twins, this is the molecular biologist. Easy to say, isn't it?
Apparently not. The odds of you doing the job if you can't say it are slim.
Legni. 3. Veel plaats.
For Madeleine, trying to come down on the stone, just hit and rolled by Marianne Way. Corner freeze it.
Ja, hingen 8. 3.
Deciding that she's got too much weight, just trying to get either behind it. The only problem
Way
is
too much weight. This is sailing right through.
Okay.
What do we do?
Over on sheet C, it is Dana Kasperi of Italy against Edith Loudon of Scotland. Italy at 1-2. Scotland at 0-3. And Kasperi facing 1 with her last stone here. Scotland has the lead at 2-0. Opportunity for Kasperi.
82.
And of course, for the Italian team led by Gasperi, coming off a bronze world medal in the juniors.
We're good.
So Italy facing 1 here.
Whoa, whoa. What key? I want key. Yep, yep, yep,
Little
yep,
tap.
yep, yep.
And that'll get you back to
Nice break, Marianne.
Very nice.
even. 2-2
What's a little
on
frost?
sheet C.
I got a 9.
Like to roll somewhere in front here. Canadians doing a very good job at spreading those stones out.
Yep. Zoveel. Drie. Drie, vestje. Sorry. 20. Is goed gespeeld.
That removes 1. Canada still lying 3.
Ja.
Here's Kim Kelly. Awaiting the arrival of Mike and the kids, Brett, who's 11, and Madison, who's 8.
Key line. Have a look, guys. Have a look.
Kim, of course, a pharmacist at the Queen Elizabeth II Hospital in Halifax.
Okay. Good.
Nice brushing job.
Good, Kim. Good sweep. Shot.
4 red rocks belong to Colleen Jones of Canada.
Wenn schon, würde ich hier anspielen und nicht freezen.
Where to
Das
start
ist
if
so
you're looking at
stark.
this
Das ist
from
auch
the Swiss
eine Variante, aber
perspective?
Sie können gut picken.
Remember, Switzerland does have last rock here.
And one of the things that they're talking about is it looks to be like the
Wir können
possibility
da
of a
spielen und
freeze.
vorne wicken oder drüber
This is the
wicken.
better
Aber nein,
percentage
natürlich,
shot.
wenn es einen Gard macht, sehen wir einfach ein bisschen alt aus.
Ja.
Wie wäre hier vorne?
Wäre eine Option.
Just reminding you, you can't see it on the screen because we're showing you the house, but there is a guard up there,
So viel von Ihnen.
Ist gut.
Also.
right there. Their belief is that if they corner froze the stone or get to that side, might be a better chance to generate a couple
Was
of
meinen
points.
Sie? Könnt ihr auch nichts versuchen, nicken oder...
Problem with that is Canadians still would lie at least 2. She's able to get behind here.
Second schon. Hinten
Still would
dran.
only be second.
Hinten rot. T-line, hä?
She calls the shots. Works at a call center. That's with Swiss
Länge
calm.
gut, nicht zu lang. Ja, die richtig! Achtung, richtig! Ja, die richtig! Die richtig! Die richtig! Die richtig! Oh, in dem Fall, weil der Freeze muss sein. Oh!
And
Nice
they work
way.
out well. Over on sheet A, it is Denmark against the United States. Debbie McCormick
get it out, though. Oh, yeah.
facing a couple here with her last stone in a 1-1 tie against home of Denmark.
Okay. Yep, perfect.
Facing 2, and she'll have to draw to cut Denmark out of stealing here.
Maybe a little more weight, I think.
Looks nice.
A little more weight.
And she'll get the 1.
Good.
So the United States into a 2-1
Hold
lead
the line. Yeah.
on Denmark on sheet A.
Line's great, sorry. Line's great.
We're good.
Whoa, whoa. Nice shot, Kim.
It is a good shot by Kim, and if you look back to the shot before, that the Swiss team played, if you were scoring, you would give her a 4 because that's the shot she called. The problem is the Canadian team still lied too. Colleen didn't even have to look at this stone. The question is why she played it. Now she's forced over to the other side of the house. The Canadians lie 3.
Was meinst du, langt das? Innen treffen.
Nicole Strausak playing in her 4th Ford
Ich spiele ein
Worlds.
gutes 12 vielleicht. He?
Won a silver medal in Glasgow in 2000.
Stop! Stop! Oh! Stop! Oh!
Looking for the hit and the big roll.
Well, there's the roll. Nibbling the button there, but
Okay.
fully exposed. Down to Skips Rocks now.
Ich bin jetzt wahrscheinlich ein Selfie gekommen, gell? Vom Eis her.
Something they called earlier in the game, trying to get those stones on the outside and roll their shooter in front of a Canadian stone.
Wir haben alle da oben gesagt, kannst eher knapp eins.
So there is backing on the shot rock belonging to Switzerland.
Lots of room for Colleen. To hit the rock where the broom is, just on the outside, and drive it past their own red stone.
Yep.
It's kind of fun. When we were in Halifax for the Brier, Colleen came by. She was doing her morning sports show on CBC from the rink that morning, so she came by for a visit before doing her weather forecast and her sports update.
Right up. Never leave it. Great shot.
That's all right. That's a good shot. Don't blame her a bit for erring on
Real
that
nice
side.
though. We're playing it tight for sure. Ja. Einer ist von innen.
Weißt du, was wir machen können? Wenn wir bis hierhin wicken, dann kann sie sicher nicht den Wick machen, weil sonst geht der dort drauf, oder?
Okay, bis hier oder hier. He? Einfach, dass wir Shot sind. 12. So.
Er darf sogar bis hier rüber wicken. Weil wenn sie nachher möchte uns rausnehmen, kann sie nicht den Wick machen, ohne dass sie uns auf ihr läuft.
We talk about tactics. That lone yellow stone made by Switzerland was perfect according to the call. My question was the call. It generated nothing and has not been a factor in this end.
Throwing 4th stones, Selena Beaulieu.
Selena trying that outside shot again, hitting and rolling in front of the Canadian stone, or if it's thin enough, all the way across.
There's the big roll.
Okay.
Canada still lies 1.
So that
Over on
right
sheet
there,
B,
so that it
Sweden.
plays the double.
Norberg against Dorothy Nordby of Norway.
And this has been an amazing end, John. There's been lots of rocks in the 4-foot. On Doherty's last shot, what she tried to do is to make an angled triple tap to the 4-foot for shot rock, just a little bit light, which has left Sweden in a chance to draw for 2.
12, even a bite of the 8 might be, well, won't hurt you, a bite of the 8. So that if she plays
butts?
double. Oh, well, yeah.
A little deep.
Okay.
It'll be 1-1. Norway and Sweden. Nordberg against Nordby.
For Colleen, not facing a whole lot of pressure yet this morning, a chance to draw another Canadian stone in there.
96.
Right up.
Gliding though, aren't we?
Right up. Yep. Gotta go for line. Gotta go for line.
Hurt.
Nice brushing
Wait
here
there. Okay, whoa, then whoa.
by Way and
Whoa.
Della Hunt.
Okay.
Good shot.
And then it'll sit for second shot, covering up. Or that'll be the shot stone, actually, a little closer there now.
And that's a great shot, John, because you can see if the Swiss team hits this one on the nose, that will be the shot stone. Perfect placement by
If she
Colleen.
doubles on that side, that might jam over there. What difference would that make? None. Here. I guess it's too far back.
Genau.
A little trap
12.
set by Canada against this team
Die
from
komt van
Switzerland.
beide
What
Seiten.
it means, John, is she has to make the double.
Ein bisschen kommt schon.
Ja, aber vielleicht nicht
Or
ganz
draw.
so viel.
Ein bisschen weniger.
Ja.
And the call is the double. She does have the option for sure of trying to draw to the forefoot for her single point.
And indicated clearly what they're trying to do here. Or at least we haven't been able to translate it from German.
Well, it is that yellow stone that may start to be a factor that they played earlier. If she's able to make the double there and stick it right there, there is a chance for two.
Whoa.
Tough shot.
Final rock.
Achtung, die!
The opportunity for a deuce for Switzerland to get back to even with Canada. There's one. And
Okay.
a steal of one
Yeah.
for Colleen Jones. So Canada with lots of rocks in play in the third end. Steals one for a
That's a
3-0
no.
advantage. Headed to 4. Back in Winnipeg, and here's a quick update from Sheet D, where Yarkova of Russia is taking on Japan. Russia with a record of 1-2. Japan at 2-1, and this one has been scoreless all morning long. Zeros across the board through 3 ends. So now here in the fourth, Yarkova lying 1, and the opportunity for a deuce here as Russia has set this up well. Tough loss to Colleen Jones on the opening day. And there's your drop. Count them up. 2 red stones there. So it is 2-0 advantage as they head to the 5th end on Sheet D. And right next door on Sheet D, it's Canada's Colleen Jones with a 3-0 advantage on Switzerland's Nicole Strausak.
Okay, schön so, tip top.
And for the team from Switzerland, now down 3 points to the Canadian team, need to generate some points, need to get those guards up there, and they have 1. And so Canada will try to defend that stone at the top of the forward button by throwing the guard.
And remember again, this is the World Championship,
great.
so the 4-rock rule is in play.
You bet.
Line's great.
You know, John, it's interesting. In our conversation with Selena last night, we talked about them being declared last year. Their Swiss champion that will represent Switzerland in the Worlds has already been declared for next year. It is not this team that's out here, and I asked her about that, and they're very comfortable with it. Canada used to do that with our junior program, and then the feeling began that when you win, you have a certain amount of chemistry. Things are going for you, and maybe that's the most opportune time to go. Others obviously felt that it would be the other way. The Swiss team, as I said earlier, spent 3 weeks in Canada trying to get better before they got to the Worlds. It's a little bit of an opinion about what is best.
Yep.
Well, the way they select teams in Europe is a little bit different in a lot of ways. I mean, the men's team representing Scotland here has changed its skip since arriving in Canada, or since declaring a champion.
And when I was doing my research in the hot tub yesterday afternoon with Warwick Smith, we talked a little bit about that, and he came over here listed as the alternate, has been skipping since the outset, and knew that coming in. Countries have the choices about how they declare their champions. I think that Canada's system of the Scott, Tournament of Hearts and the Brier is one of the best.
Lovely throw,
Interesting, though, when you look at this team from
Oh, baby.
Halifax.
Miriam. Shot.
Nicely done.
And Colleen Jones and the success that she's had, she's already qualified for next
Yes.
year's Scott Tournament of Hearts. And you start to wonder, after winning it 5 times, at a point when she might want to retire. And I mean, it gets, as you go back next year, you want to win again. And it you know, means this team is committed for next year at the Scott Tournament of Hearts and trying to win it. And should they do that again,
Schon gut gespielt, Denise.
they've got another year on this merry-go-round of playing curling all season long, of curling all season long.
One of the things that I think makes Colleen one of the finest champions in the world is not only her ability, but it was 1982
In Regina.
when she started to win. And one of the things that Colleen has said to me time and time again is that she loves this game and has the desire to play and win. And as long as you have that and the ability of these ladies, why would you ever think of not?
Well, yeah, I know,
job,
Kathy, and
Marion.
I understand that part, and obviously, but what you have to have is 4 players on this team with the same kind of commitment, or the same thought process of curling, 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 and there are other things in life at some point in time. So
I agree.
you wonder.
Very strong. Great shot by Marianne, way behind that corner guard, making it very tough for Switzerland this morning. The Canadian ladies have come to play.
Zieh richtig, hurry!
A very tough challenge
Hurry, komm jetzt, zieh richtig!
for the team from the Bern Curling Club in Switzerland. Extra brusher comes forward. And they'll tuck this around rather nicely, although part of the rock still, well, actually, it's tucked in very nicely indeed, isn't it, behind that
Nice weight,
guard out
John.
in front.
Unfortunately, Canada still does lie 1.
Italy, Scotland on sheet C. Gasperi lying 2. And looking at her final stone here in a 2-2 tie with Loudon of Scotland. Edith Loudon looking for her first victory after opening with 3 losses. Here's Gasperi at 1 and 2 for Italy. So that'll be Scotland with the final stone. A chance for 3.
Going to the back. Yeah.
Only 2
It'll be 4-2 for Scotland there.
for Colleen and Team Canada, trying to force play away from that corner guard. Make the Swiss team shoot in the open. That's what they've successfully done.
So Switzerland lies 1.
Länge gut? Ja. Das war ein gut gespielt gewesen. Ja. Es braucht so viel Eisen.
For Kim, trying to remove the stone just thrown by Nicole Strausak and stay right there.
Following the same path.
Shot.
Shooter stays right there. Canada lies 2. Kelly hitting on 82% of her shots in the first 3 games. And that's first among 3rd shooters at the Worlds so far.
Nur einmal gerade ist gar nicht schlecht, oder sogar jetzt ein bisschen nach rechts, dass wir nachher den Doppel machen können. Warte, weg!
Nicole again looking for the hit and stick.
Brushers watch it all the way.
Got a bit fortunate there
That's
to keep that
a
stone
little
in
bit
the house.
fortunate. Little jam on that red rock out of the house, out of the rings there. Over on sheet A, it is Denmark against the United
Back
States.
there now.
Just don't want to leave double at all.
30 home of Denmark against Debbie McCormick of the USA. The Americans have won 2 of their first 3 games, and this is the final stone for home of Denmark. Flying 1. An opportunity to grab 2 and take the lead. Well, they'll raise it in and count 2 that way. 3-2 Denmark.
Should I worry about leaving all those?
You see that
12-footers?
yellow stone
No.
push the red stone
Huh?
almost out.
You know, I
Yeah, I
just
don't think it's
T.
quite out, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe from that angle. Is that a nibbler?
We can put it wherever you want, really, with the way it is right now.
Well, I'm afraid she'll freeze if I go back, so.
Yep.
You're not jumping out on the limb here?
Well, I'm not, because I'm not sure that it's going to be a factor at this point. For Colleen wants to lie 2 at the end of this. Their concern is where do they place it. You heard Colleen say, I'm afraid she'll freeze if I go back, meaning behind the tee line. She's seen earlier that in this game that Nicole Strausak likes to play those freezes, would like to be right on the tee line or just a bit in front.
No, no, no.
T or better.
Just T. Just T.
Got to be T, guys.
Just T.
Okay, good. Perfect. Nice shot, Colleen.
Yeah, and it is just about that.
Nice one.
Judging.
Perfect.
Had to be serious pullback on that big.
Very nice.
Thank you. She looked like she had a ton.
Wenn müssen wir da jetzt fast spielen?
Ja, wir können da sogar etwas Gutes machen.
Gell? Gute Hackweight.
Eine gute Hackweight. Sagen wir 15.
I believe that's
Look,
hack
I
weight in
don't
any.
know if
Hack weight in any
There
language,
you
right?
go. See how quickly we're all over that, John.
Interesting makeup on this team. When you look at the last names of the players, there's a French background in there as well as a German background, and what they seem to be speaking most of the way when they're not talking hack weight and going right into English is German.
There's no question that because of how the ice curls, you can see that from the hack, you're looking at what Selena is seeing from the hack. It looks buried because it curls so hard with that hack weight. She can make contact on the yellow, on the red, and get that 1 Canadian stone out of the house, or certainly back far enough that it won't be a factor.
Längi?
Warte.
Achtung!
First of the skip rocks for Switzerland.
Gar nicht.
Here in 4.
Gar nicht.
That's strictly weight, John.
Okay.
That's a lot more than hack.
Obviously,
Fängt einfach nicht
a
an.
disappointing result.
Es war gut gespielt gewesen.
This rock
Too
isn't
much.
moving hard. You can see it does want to go, but she iced herself for hack, and she threw much more like controlled hit weight.
14 von Längi.
So the door opens again for Colleen Jones after this miscue. Little wreck there
Das mag einfach nicht anhängen.
and right through.
So, weißt du, mir hat das eine Länge nicht so schlecht gedacht. Weißt du, so, weißt, bis dort rübergekommen.
Yeah.
I won't be going 4 foot here on
Okay.
Now for Colleen, chance to lie 3.
you. You guys will be putting it there. In other words.
Final stone for Canada in 4. Already lying 2.
This has got enough to go, I think.
Just a bite of the 8.
Whoa.
Looks like lots from here.
Bite the 8. Hard.
Looks like lots. Looks like lots, guys.
Hurry.
Just a bite.
Hard. Hard,
Okay,
hard, 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 hard.
Oh,
Great sweep,
perfect.
you guys.
Nice shot.
Canada
Nice
lies
shot.
3.
You guys are good.
They've likely been
Yes.
told that a time or two. Kelly,
Sure is hard
Way,
to
and
resist
Delahunt
sweeping.
for Colleen Jones. Sports Center comes your way. Rod Smith, playoff previews, of course. The NHL Stanley Cup playoffs get underway on Wednesday, so 6:30 Eastern tonight. Join Rod Smith. He'll take a look at all of what's happening in the National Hockey League. And following that, Molson's That's Hockey with Gino Reda. A full
That's
1 hour to set up the playoff
Tap up so hard
situation.
as soon as you change your weight. To
and the coverage on TSN.
draw. It's hard.
Aber du bin mir ein bisschen unsicher jetzt. So. Hä? Da. Okay. Nur eins.
A big pile of trouble faces the team from Switzerland. Colleen referring to her 2 sweepers as, are you guys good? And she means that obviously all the way around the map, but what she's referring to specifically is where they placed her stone.
Seid ihr einverstanden?
What she's left
Kann
her
das
is
sein,
the
dass der Guss eine
outside
Spürung
in
härter hat?
draw for 1.
Wobei, rechnen tue ich eigentlich nicht damit.
So, noch Görle. Richtig gut. Richtig gut.
We know the number's about 14 and a half at this spot.
Hey, ich höre
Final stone for Switzerland here in 4. Coming in nicely.
Very nice shot.
Little nudge off the Canadian stone, and a very much needed points for Switzerland to get on the board at last. They'll give up the hammer, but facing a bunch there. Selena Brulou needed this shot. Little tick there. Count 1 for Switzerland. It is 3-1 after 4.
Gut gewesen. Gut gewesen. Gut gespielt, schön.
Canada's Colleen Jones, a champion 5 times, facing a 2-time world champion, Dorothy Nordby, you see there in the background. But it is Jones leading the pack with a perfect record of 3-0 heading into this draw. And in control of the morning match against Switzerland, Canada leads it 3-1. Here's an update from Sheet D. Russia and Japan, it took 4 ends before they got even 1 point on the board. Russia scored 2 in the 4th, and now here's the opportunity for Japan, facing 1. Chance for a whole pile there. Possible 4, but they'll count 3. So Ryota of Japan takes the lead at 3-2 on Yarkova of Russia.
And that is one country that has come a long way in curling, has Japan. Mechanics were always solid, and it's the experience of playing at the world level that we're really starting to see make a difference this year. Don't expect them to win at the end of the week by any means, but for countries like that, you know what? Every year you get progressively better. The level playing field is getting leveler.
Nummer Agni. Richtig.
Well, a record of 2-1 coming into this drop
Richtig.
indicates that. No worse than a 5-way tie for second spot for the Japanese curlers.
See the red stone at the top, right of the forward button. That is Nancy Delahunt's great draw. Swiss team just trying to come down on top of it or corner freeze it. Last rock does go back to Colleen with that 1 point, that great draw made by Selena Brulou last end.
Actually, that's a 409.
But Jones has the hammer.
No
With a
line,
2-point
no line,
lead.
no line.
Lots of run, lots of line.
That's okay. Whoa, whoa,
Needs it.
whoa. Okay, a little.
Line's good now, yep.
Great.
Whoa, whoa.
Okay.
Nice shot.
Good man.
That rock starting to over curl just a little bit, which is why you can see Nicole Strausak trying to come back in. Around the outside, put this stone somewhere in front of it. Does not have to be shot, but would start to create a little bit of wall in front of the Canadian stone that right now is shot.
Richtig. Richtig. 3, richtig. Richtig, hurry. Hurry, gaan we het al aangelopen, hurry.
Heavy duty brushing there to get the Swiss rock.
Huh?
The yellows are all.
Half in the 8s.
Madle.
When ice is this quick, the brushers usually have to work much harder because you throw it less. And this is where being in great shape, and you see 3 great brooms in there right now, really your physical abilities start to come into question at a world level or a national level, the way that we play our systems in this country.
Here's Marianne Way. Lots behind this. There's one. And nudging another Yellowstone.
Went around the corner.
Well, that sort of worked out all right.
It did, really, didn't it?
Moved things around a little bit for Colleen. Won't be that disappointed with that shot.
Up better before, but
Here's the action, really trying to get rid of that guard, but hits it a little bit too thick.
Jammed a red back on the yellow, and Canada sits in pretty good shape here.
Langie.
What was good about that shot is that it opened things up on the forefoot. What was bad about that shot is that it moved the Canadian stone back a little further behind the tee line, making this freeze accessible for Switzerland.
Hurry. Hurry, hurry.
Back behind the tee line and nudge there.
Shot.
Very nicely played as it rolls in behind that yellow guard. Half in the 8s. That Yellowstone half in the 8. Little protection there.
Same weight. Same weight you just threw.
For Colleen, wants to get rid of that stone.
Whoa.
a little bit, honey.
Whoa.
Very nice
Everything
shot,
is moving
Marianne
there.
Way.
Canada lies 3.
Pistol.
That is a beautiful shot from this young woman playing second for Canada. Not only makes the double on this shot.
There's 1, there's 2, there's
Rolls that
third
one.
stone rolling.
Look, that's like a triple.
Back in the
and a
12.
roll
It's
pin, like,
almost a
look at it.
triple
I
is
know, pretty.
what
That's
you're hearing
as-
down there. I mean,
That is as
action.
good as a triple because that stone goes right back.
Oh, I know.
All right. No wonder she's smiling.
Very nice shot.
Second among seconds this week, coming in at 80%.
Couldn't have landed prettier. Like, it's just pretty.
Even a little backing for that backhand.
Yeah.
Und von dieser Seite. Ja, von der anderen Girl ist fast zu viel.
So more problems for Switzerland. Looking at that house right there.
You can see that the call is to go away from those corner guards, trying to put the stone somewhere in front of that Canadian stone for the
Lang
Swiss
passief.
team. That great shot by Marianne Way has left them in all kinds of trouble without last rock.
Langie!
Nicole Strausak, who calls the game for Switzerland.
Achtung, richtig. Tap. Richtig. Richtig.
Throwing third stones here.
Richtig. Richtig. Bis am Schluss. Hamid. Hamid. Fish.
Oh,
Stop it there.
Again, John, I think just under-icing themselves for those calls.
Sliding just a little bit deep. Sheet A, it is Denmark against the United States. We've been showing you shots over here all morning. Denmark with a 3-2 lead, fifth end. And McCormick from the USA
Yep.
facing one.
Yep.
Debbie McCormick with her final stone. Nicely done. And there's a deuce.
Sorry, I
So the
should have let
United
her know
States takes the
regular.
lead
I was icing for regular.
with 2 and 5. 4-3 is the score there.
Idealerweise wäre er hier. Oder ein Creeper hier vorne. Aussen. Schon eine Variante. Dann musst du einfach schauen, dass der da nicht im Weg ist. Er muss wirklich gerade vor dran. Wenn wir lieber so hinten dran. Ist einfacher. He?
Switzerland with 2
So,
world
also
wins
idealerweise genau hier.
since competition began in 1979. The first ever champion was Gabby Casanova, who won in 1979. Erica Mueller won 4 years after that in 1983. So 2 world championships for Swiss women's curlers.
You can see that they cannot make a play on either of these Canadian stones because they are protected by that long guard. And so the call is to draw around not only the guard, but those 2 stones to attempt to be shot.
Final stone for Nicole Strausak
Nochmal Länge.
here in 5.
Viel Platz. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Er ist einfach noch weit weg. Er ist noch weit weg. Top 8 ist gut. Hingere ziehen. Jetzt! Verstecken, hurry! Jetzt! Ho, ho!
Hurry comes through in every language as well. That will be the shot rock, but fairly accessible for Kim Kelly.
For the removal, wants Kim to roll away from that spot.
And it'll stay right there. So a cluster of red rocks belonging to Canada. She was looking to roll to the other side and spread it out in the house a little bit more. So there's a double possibility there.
That's the reason that she wanted to roll away, John. By staying right here, there's a chance to get this inside or hit it on an angle and get that stone.
Noch mehr. Ja, okay, da. Ja. 12. Wenn ich schnell komme, ging eventuell ein Triple, wenn ich nicht. Wenn ich genau die da hier drin breche. Du kommst einfach nicht zuerst auf den. Nein, sollte ich auch nicht, sonst geht der nicht. Genau, eben hier rein. Selfie. Okay.
Just confirming where they want to hit this stone to try to remove at least 2 Canadian ones.
4 rocks remain here in 5. Strausak holding the broom for Selena Bruleux. Bruleux making her 3rd World Championship appearance. Plenty behind this. There's 1. Second stone rolls a little bit. Canada still lies 2. So she got rid of 1.
She did. It didn't help her a whole lot. She does remove 1. She's hoping to remove 2 Canadian stones with this. Removes her 1 at the back, and you can see that the stone that she's just thrown is 3rd shot. Net, Colleen drawing to lie 3.
Yeah.
With her first stone here in 5. She hit that first stone just a little too full. And there wasn't anything left to remove that second red stone. There's not enough juice behind it.
I don't think she can hear with the
No, but you think with my arm movement.
Canada has the hammer here in 5. Sitting pretty right now, lying 2.
Same? Same. line. T line, just T.
A bit of drag factor on it.
T line. T, T, T. Yep.
Oh, stop calling right.
Yep, 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 yep. Heard. Right up. Right up.
We're there.
More.
We're there. Okay. Good shot.
Nicely done.
Nice.
Flying 3 now.
Very nice.
Over on sheet B, it's Annette Norberg of Sweden against Dorty Nordby of Norway. Norberg lying a couple here.
It's been a real Scandinavian struggle up there this morning. Hannah Woods has made some great shots for Dorty Nordby, but Dorty has not been able to capitalize on those. And Annette Norberg here, a chance for a bunch.
Lying 2. Looking to tap one out of the way. And count the 3. And there you go. 4-2 now, Sweden. Annette Norberg has the lead. Both those teams at 2-1 coming into play here this morning. So they're in a tie for second spot. One will drop into third place as a result of the morning draw.
And this shot is about trying to avoid giving up a huge end. She is ignoring the shot stone and trying to make a double on the outside too.
Missed the double last time. Can she get it here? There's 2 red stones rolling and 2 removed. So Canada still lies 1 with the opportunity for 1 more for Colleen Jones, but it could have been worse for Switzerland had she not made that shot.
Okay, works for you.
She makes the double. Obviously, they feel that if they only give up 2 because there was no way to get shot on that stone, being down 5-1 is better than being down 6-1. Mathematically, I suppose that's true.
Well,
but
lots of ends to go, but it's going to be a tough road back for Switzerland the way the Canadian team has played this morning.
free draw for Colleen anywhere in the 8-foot. 2 points.
Talked about a few misses by the Canadian team against Denmark yesterday. Still, it was a 13-7 victory, so the score a little bit deceiving in the way the Canadian team played, but there have been no misses this morning by
Little more. Whoa,
Much
whoa.
resistance on that guy.
the 5-time Canadian champion Colleen Jones.
You need the back?
Yeah, we could.
And a chance right here to add 2
You're not
more
on
to
it
a
yet.
total
No,
for
we're
a
good.
5-1 lead.
Numbers are
Be on it
good.
Yeah,
by
we're
the time
good.
it gets here. Nice shot, Colleen.
And so is the
There
shot.
you go.
2.
Count 2. 5-1, Canada leading Switzerland after 5. Canada's Colleen Jones has a wonderful team playing with her. The lead is Nancy Delahunt, who goes up against Bianca Rothlitzenberger of Switzerland. Marianne Way against Madalena Brelou. Kim Kelly matches up against Nicole Strausak, who skips this team from Switzerland but throws third stones. And there's the 5-time Canadian champ Colleen Jones throwing fourth stones against Selina Brelou of Switzerland here in Winnipeg this morning. Time now for the key shot, brought to you by Robaxosset, helping you walk away from back pain.
The top of the show, we said Marianne Way, the only player that was in second place amongst all shooters, but she makes a great shot on her second one, facing 2 stones belonging to Team Swiss. Makes the triple. It doesn't go out of the house, but it is as good as gone. And you don't think she's happy about this shot? Oh, yes.
Little doubt about it being the key shot. In fact, it's the shot of the morning, is it not?
It is, because that's why Canada has gone on to this 5-1 lead after 5.
Little powwow there for Team Canada. Chance for a little snack. And ready for the final 5 ends with a rather comfortable 4-point lead. Here we are at the 5th end break, and after 5 is brought to you by True Value Hardware. Help is just around the corner.
Well, we've got some great numbers on the board for Canada at 5-1, and look at the draw percentage for Team Canada, 91%. Those are some really big numbers, and as you follow through, look at the difference. The Swiss team barely at 70%, in fact 69 for hits. Overall, the Canadian team has to be very proud of the way that they're playing today. After yesterday's outing, they're making them all, and that's why they're winning.
Colleen Jones making all the shots. It's a long way back for Nicole Strausak and her team from Switzerland and the Bern Curling Club. Canada looking for a 13th women's championship. Interestingly enough, it was Switzerland winning the very first in 1979. Gabby Casanova winning that title. Switzerland with 2 world championships. Canada has now won 200 games at the world level in women's play. The 200th win coming yesterday for Colleen Jones. And that was a 13-7 victory over Denmark. Easy to see which team is heavily favored in the championship. And we talked about what happened in Bismarck last year to this Canadian team, and they seem to have refocused and are very much in the right zone here this morning in particular.
Well, there's no question that Canadian teams do tend to go into world championships for curling as favorites. Now, whether they're heavy favorites or not often depends on who other countries send. But really, once you get here, it is up to each individual team to perform. And last year, Colleen's team, self-admittedly, was not a great show.
That's why I was.
Canada has won 4 of the last 7 world championships. Looking back to last year, Jackie Lockhart of Scotland was a winner in Bismarck. The year before that, Colleen Jones. The year prior to that, in Glasgow, it was Kelly Law. Then Elizabeth Gustafsson of Sweden won 2 in a row in Kamloops and St. John. Sandra Schmerler won for Canada in Bern in '97, and Marilyn Bodo for Canada in Hamilton in '96.
And Elizabeth Gustafsson, of course, in the record books for the most world championships, retired this year, about to have her 2nd child.
Gaan we nog nieuw zitten? Hurry, vecht je. Schön so, tip top.
There's the corner guard we would expect. Down 4 points. They really do need to start to pull out all stops, John, does the Swiss team. And for Canada, just continue to do the things that they're doing, which for Nancy is throwing the first one at the top of the 4-foot and then throwing the tight guard in the house.
12-foot.
4-point cushion is a rather comfortable margin.
Just 12.
Playing the 6th end, particularly when you look at the numbers we just showed you and the way the Canadian team has been playing this morning.
You guys.
It is a 2-draw day for the women. Later, Canada takes on Italy. That'll be this evening here at the arena in Winnipeg. Men's action on the next draw. And Canada's Randy Ferbey, with a perfect record so far, will meet Finland this afternoon when Ray Vick and Linda join you.
Should be a great game for Randy Ferbey, the Cookie Monster, and his crew. They have a tough game with Jussi Pavelniemi this afternoon, the Finnish skip, making a lot of shots.
And Finland amongst the leaders on the men's side at 3-0 as well. So that's a great showdown there. Let's go over to sheet A as we look in live. 6th end there with the United States leading Denmark 4-3. That is Debbie McCormick of USA against Dorothy Holm of Denmark.
And for the United States team, they fought hard to get themselves a deuce back in the last end and get that 1-point advantage. And as we look at Dorothy about to throw her last shot, she's trying to find a way to get in for 4. Exactly, John.
Final stone for Dorothy Holm, looking for her first win in Winnipeg this week. 0-3 coming in. And an opportunity to blow this wide open if she can come up here.
No shot there, John. They looked at how they could get into the 4-foot, and the risk was not worth the reward.
Not worth the reward.
So you take your 3 and you say thank you very much.
So they rolled that one through, and it will be 3 officially there. 6-4 Denmark leading the United States.
Another corner guard is the call from the Swiss team.
Okay.
Sliding too deep, obviously, by coming in the house. Colleen would have been removing one of the stones in either case, but this allows Marianne a chance to roll in.
Nice regular.
Thinking about that great shot that Marianne Way made earlier this morning.
Hurry! Hurry hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Okay, look up, you guys, so that you can see this. We were sweeping. Not at the beginning, no.
They didn't really want that red rock to remain right there.
Ja.
No, for sure, John. The roll in was a good option, or the roll completely away, the better, because that in fact allows the team from Switzerland to have those two guards up. Interestingly enough, Nicole Strausak ignoring both of those stones and trying to make some sort of a hit and roll a little bit off the Canadian stone.
Switzerland lying one here on sheet E. Kim Kelly.
Wide open from Switzerland, left that stone in a spot where Kim Kelly can get to it.
And a nice little roll to top that off. Look at this.
Well, this
over
is,
on sheet B. Can you count all those red stones?
There are 5.
There are 5 there.
And for Doherty Nordby, sometimes when she gets down, this is what her MO is, which is to completely ignore opponent's stones and gamble at all costs. And that's fine as long as you have draw weight. And boy, does she need it here, John.
Nordby down by a couple and facing a bunch with her final rock. Here in 6, 2-time world champion and the winner of the Worlds the last time it was held here at the arena in Winnipeg.
Indeed she was. That was over Canadian Julie Sutton. Now Julie Skinner.
Nordby looking to count Sweden out of a bunch. And she won't get there.
May only have
At least
been one.
One for sure for Sweden to steal there. And that's all they're counting, 1. So it's 5-2 Sweden, leading Nordby of Norway.
Back here, Nicole Strausak trying to use that guard that was replaced by Marianne Way to get behind.
Okay.
But the struggle continues, a little bit light.
Gut gespielt. Sicher eng gewesen, oder? Ich wusste, es ist zu viel Eis, weil für die Karte... Aber ich hatte jetzt innen nachher...
Regular, sorry, Kim. Yep. Yep. Hurry! Hurry hard!
Good sweep.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Nice shot.
Shot by Kim.
Mit einem Plus. Okay. Kommt sie so fest? Nur ein Plus. Okay. Ja. Ein bisschen mehr sogar.
It's a bit of a questionable call, John. What it looks like they're doing is trying to tap this stone back. They're down 4 points. Here's an option. Here's an option. There are ways to get yellow stones in the house which do not involve chasing red stones.
Canada does have the hammer here in 6 after Switzerland scored 1 in 5. Perfect. Canada scored. I should say Canada scored 2 in 5.
Achtung! Nee, 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 nee. Okay, gut gewischt. Gut. Wir müssen ein bisschen auf die Uhr schauen. Ja, ich versuche immer jetzt zu pressieren.
Colleen can probably see half, maybe 3/4 of this stone. It's about making it go away.
Down to Skip's rocks here, and Jones will throw first for Canada. I confused you a little bit there. Canada with 2 more in 5. Switzerland picking up 1 in the 4th
In the
end.
2/3 department,
Oh, that
I
makes
suppose.
me very happy.
Yes.
Anyway, you look at it, it's a
bit.
4-point lead for Canada. And an opportunity to make another yellow rock disappear for Colleen Jones here.
Wil niet aan die achtervoet. Zo, ja.
Yep. Hurry! Hard! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Good.
Shot.
There it
Shot.
goes.
Good sweep, you guys.
Nice shot.
Just 1 in the house. Half in the 12 at the back belonging to Canada.
Real nice throw.
Thank you.
Kijk, als wenn hier perfekt bei, dann Straßzieren oder so. Machst du so in die Mitte? Ich glaube, das ist besser.
Okay, ist gut.
What's so viel?
Here's the call she could have made the first time and at least learned from it to get in here. Now that that rock is far enough back, they're going here, keeping in mind that with Canada scoring 2, last rock belongs to Switzerland. Had she made this shot on the first one,
so viel weniger.
Colleen would have been playing a much more difficult shot than picking out a 3/4 open stone.
First of 2 for Switzerland, Selena Beaulieu. Here in 6.
Richtig ist gut. Satz hat er viel. Richtig ist gut. Viel Platz. Wo ist er? Zieh. Jetzt geht er. Ganz verstecken.
Coming in nicely.
Very nice, nice weight on that shot.
Still open a little bit, but it's in front of the tee line.
I'd say she's got more than the other one.
I just worry about jamming back there.
Here's the
but maybe I don't
concern.
have to worry about that so much. Well, it's a legitimate concern.
Worried about a jam.
Didn't mind you if you picked it with peel, you'd be.
Yeah, it should
All
be
right,
fast
yeah.
enough rings.
Okay.
It's gonna move.
There's Captain Canada.
That is not Nancy's husband, I should clarify.
Back one. I'm thinking
David
the run
has not
back might
arrived
be
yet, David
easier, but
Delahunt's.
Well, the rings are so fast.
There's room. There's plenty of room to chip it out. Just if you were to ever hit everything that you can see right there, you're jamming. I've got to just make sure I hit the corner.
Okay.
Okay. Looks good.
There's never been any
And
question.
actually, if I did hit all I could see, I might roll behind their corner.
There's never been any question for Colleen what the shot is. She can see half to 3/4 of the yellow stone. Their issue is if she hits all she can see, if she jams on the back, but there's no question with this lead and seeing what she can, you try to remove this stone.
Final stone for Colleen Jones. 6th end. Shot rock belongs to Switzerland. Jones hoping to avoid the jam, and she does.
Closer, yeah.
Empty house.
Great shot.
Made contact
We could have swept it for you. Great shot.
with the yellow rock at the back, but rolled out anyway.
Great
So
throw, Colleen. One thin pick, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
a thin pick is
Yeah,
exactly what they
it's
got.
one
I thought
of
it
those
was.
thinner than it looked ones.
So last rock for
If I
Switzerland to
had
come.
hit what you could see, we probably would have missed the back on this.
Yeah,
side
that's
by
right.
about
If
that
you hit what
much.
you could see, you would have been fine too. Anyway, great.
Call.
she's indicating that she's going to draw and take her point, which is sometimes what we see at the World Play. What you would expect is that she would throw this stone through and keep last rock to try to generate a couple of points. Oh, second thoughts, maybe. Yeah. I think this is the far better call.
She's tuned into you. She's firing this through. This is not draw weight, as you can see. A blank end is going to be recorded. So Switzerland continues to trail Canada by 4 with 6 ends complete here on the opening draw on day 3.
Nice picks, both of those.
Yeah, they were nice.
The Nokia 7210 phone with available camera headset. The new Pocket Translator. We make multimedia messaging as easy as see, snap, and send. Nokia, connecting people.
Back at the arena in Winnipeg, time for a quick update. We'll go to Sheet C, where Italy is taking on Scotland. Loudon of Scotland looking for her first win of the championship. Final stone to come for Gasperi of Italy. It's Diana Gasperi facing 3. And an opportunity to cut her losses there. A chance to draw for 1 against 3 yellow stones. Looks a little strong. It looks a lot strong.
Yep. Go on hard, hard. They fought hard.
Scotland into a 6-3 lead on Italy there. Other scores. Denmark and the United States. Well, 6 for Denmark. We got to total up the Americans there.
5.
5. There you go. Sweden, Norway. Jordi Nordby of Norway struggling a little bit against Norberg of Sweden. 5-2 there. Just showed you that result there. 6-3 Scotland. Loudon has the lead there. Lots of blanks here, and it's a 3-2 advantage for Japan, playing in 8 against Yarkova of Russia. The feature match, Canada's Colleen Jones against Nicole Strausak of Switzerland.
Look on, look on.
You know, years ago, John, I was just thinking back to the last end where Switzerland looked as though they might take 1. We used to see the European teams do that regularly, and it would have been a mistake, in my opinion, for her to lose her last rock advantage by drawing for 1 when she didn't need to. Keeping last rock, chances maybe to score 2 down the road. You just never want to relinquish last rock if you don't have to.
Well, 1 doesn't help against this Canadian team the way Colleen and company are playing this morning. 1 point. To be down by 3 and relinquish the hammer really is not a good plan. They're still going to need a break or 2, a miss or 2 here to get back in the game, trailing by 4.
Well, and they just got 1 with the nose hit from Marianne Way, so all of a sudden they've got 2. What I don't understand is that as soon as they get their 2 guards, they want to start hitting stones. When you're down 4 points, if you want to make a play on the Canadian stone, the right way to maybe generate some points is just to tap this stone back a little bit. Keep it involved in the play. And then at least if you don't hit it perfectly, you're going to keep your shooter around.
We've taken for any field this week.
3. Hack. 3. 50. 3. 50. 3. 3.
Roll may work out decently well. That's hockey The playoff preview comes your way tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time. The playoffs begin on Wednesday, so we'll have a complete look at what to watch for as the Stanley Cup playoffs get underway with our coverage on TSN. Remembering back to the Winnipeg Victoria's championship
Are
year,
you?
Stanley Cup 1896.
That was a vintage year for you, my friend, I believe.
That was Winnipeg's Stanley Cup championship
Nice throw, Marianne. Lovely throw.
a year or two ago.
Nice shot. Great shot.
And then the Winnipeg Jets, a fantastic team. We loved them while they were here.
Lots of Avco Cups for those Jets.
And some fantastic players here in this building at one point. We still do with the Manitoba Moose, of course, no longer an NHL team in this town. It has become this ice sport that we watched today much more of an international sport. I met a gentleman as I walked in this morning who gave me some pins from the Pittsburgh Curling Club, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Florida, saying that these clubs are all springing up post-Olympics, and that's a great story in and of itself.
Interest in the United States has really grown since Ogden. An update over on sheet D. It is Russia against Japan. Yarkova lying 1 with her final stone here and trailing Japan 3-2.
Whoa, sorry. Whoa.
Chance for a couple here for Russia to get into the lead. Russian team with a breakthrough last year in Bismarck and several interesting wins. And there's the deuce. And that's good for a 4-3 advantage.
Back in our feature game, Kim Kelly removing the one lone Swiss stone that was in play and rolling out. Leaves those 2 guards, and now the Swiss team is trying to utilize them. With Nicole Strausak's first.
3 rocks in play, 1 in the house. That's a good looking lid. I think you'd look pretty good in that one.
Would match my outfit, would it?
Yeah, with the flag. You in your Don Cherry gear this morning.
A fashion critic all of a sudden.
Oh. Wird laufen, habe ich das Gefühl.
I'm just looking at your jacket this morning.
You're just jealous.
And there's a horse in Assiniboia Downs without a coat.
Now
That's a good
there's another great helmet.
Scandinavian look right there.
That is one of the greatest things about the Worlds, is that you do very much see some international flavor of headgear. A horse without a coat.
Can I try
How
the
many
run back?
plaid horses have you seen?
Well, she's worried about the jams back there.
It's a good look on you, Cass.
I need Moosey. He'd straighten you out.
Hang it on.
For Kim, eliminating that guard, she asked about playing the run back. It's too dangerous because if you miss it, you not only leave the guard, but you leave the stone in the house. Well, there's the opening that we talked about, John. For Kim, wanted to eliminate that guard altogether, remove the yellow stone, but left a guard, and that's the guard now that the Swiss team will try to get around. Maybe a chance to score 2, and that's why you keep last rock.
Nicole Strausak looks at that. Switzerland lying 1.
That's the guard they didn't want left in play, and that is the guard that Nicole is going to try to use.
Wo ist er? Ganz im 8.
Starting to move, as you see. And they get it by the guard out front, barely by. And tucked in nicely. So all of a sudden, Switzerland does lie 2.
Well, that's
with
a
the
great
hammer
shot, John. There's no question about it, but they were very relaxed in calling this. These rocks curl really hard at the end. Watch how little room, yike, they have by that guard.
I don't really want to roll over there because if you ever were to jam there and then give her a double here.
So a glimmer of hope for Switzerland with a very nice shot there.
So nose, eh?
Any bit of a jam stack there, no biggie if you stay, eh?
Down to skip stones here.
Removing the
I'll take the
stone
other
that is wide open, even though it's
Well,
not shot
less ice.
stone,
Left, Nan.
can
Left.
roll to be shot.
I really don't want to jam back there.
Okay. So you're just trying to hit it on the nose?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm afraid if I try to hit and roll, it will jam.
Yep.
And we'll leave her
Chances are
double.
pretty good it would.
Regular.
See those two red stones behind Nancy? That's what Colleen's concern is. They're both close enough to the paint that if she hits it on an angle,
Whoa, whoa,
could wind up right back there.
whoa. Whoa!
First of two for Colleen Jones here in 7.
Should we roll it next? Because it's jamming.
Switzerland has the hammer. There's a little bit of a roll, and there was the dreaded jam. Although Canada still
Well,
Mine
I'm
too.
jamming all over all of them.
Yeah.
Colleen knew one of the dangers of removing that stone on an angle was that it would be
Fine
driven
throw.
back on those two. Not much they can do once it's out of her hand. Advantage for Canada is that right now, Canadians do lie shot and third stone as well. Nose hit for
Hope a good,
Strausak.
it
If she's
says.
able to roll a little to the center, she can hope that Colleen might do the same thing again.
Tiens! Langy!
first of two for Selena Brelou of Switzerland. The hits, and a little roll. And Canada will be second shot, as you see there.
Oh, isn't this so dangerous? Throw for how? That's a double. Yeah.
What if you drew right both
Or
there?
here. What about here?
That's not bad. Just thinking, if you draw here, she can't hit it and be shot. But then she's
Well,
just
she
going to
hit
draw to
number
the back
two,
one.
yeah.
Switzerland definitely giving the Canadian
Just
team
anywhere to
something to
avoid
think
double.
about here.
I don't mind here either, Colleen. Yeah, I think we come there.
Okay.
Well, for Colleen, that last shot meant that she has to be very careful and needs to get another red stone in play.
Any any big ideas? Yeah. What? Well, I even thought a corner freeze to it with no bounce is fine.
Sure. That one, or I'd say where it was, where they just hit it. Where Nancy Spoon, either side, I think, works for you.
Yeah, except it's guaranteed two then, you know? Where
All we
then we're
have
giving
to
her
do
an
is
open hit
outcount
for two.
this one.
Right, yeah, exactly. This way we could get one. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I like this if you like this. Will it come this much?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. Cool.
Final stone to come for Colleen Jones here in 7.
I mean, our other option is hitting that back one, but then you're leaving them there for a double.
Yeah. I like
No.
this if you like this.
This Yellowstone here, that was the roll by Switzerland, and all of a sudden for Colleen, she needs to ensure that she gets another red stone in and does not set up stones so that the double would be possible of the two Canadian stones.
Canada comfortably in
Just
control
define the
with a
8-foot,
4-point
guys.
lead
Your line's
at
fine.
5-1.
There. Yep, all there.
Playing
Yep.
7.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, let's come here then. Yep.
Facing the most difficult situation
Wait
put up by
there.
the Swiss team so far this morning.
Around, yep.
Final stone for Colleen Jones.
Here, though. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Seventh
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
end.
Great shot. Well, we didn't
Very
need shot.
nicely done. Throws it almost perfectly to that yellow Swiss stone.
She still have a double? Does she still have the double?
On sheet C, Italy and Scotland, and the Scots are looking for their first win.
Brengen we nu moeten
Edith
gaan?
Loudon
Daar brengen we nu moeten.
with a 6-3 lead. Here's the final stone for Diana Gasperi.
If you're looking
In
at
8.
rock colors on this sheet, John, it has been dominated by yellow stones.
And look at the house as they finish there with a count of at least 3.
It will
It'll
be
be
4.
four.
And that will be
there.
the third 10-3 score for yellow on sheet C. You want to be throwing yellow
You
if you're
want
out
the
there.
yellow stones there. 10-3, and that's enough for Italy this morning. The Italians will regroup for a game against Canada
Kom zeker rein, hè?
on the evening draw. 10-3 is the final there.
Ja.
Great spot by Colleen where she's placed that stone. No chance for a double and not even a chance to remove it. This is about drawing for 1.
That's all that's left for Switzerland here in the 7th. Just a perfectly played shot by Colleen Jones with her final stone in the 7th.
Lengi? Hoe is het? Vroeg er een brems. Ja, kijk aan niet.
All that's left for
Quick, quick,
Switzerland here is this for 1. And will it stop in time?
Nice
Shut
shot.
up. 1. Ja.
It will. Nibbling the 4. Count 1 for Switzerland. And Canada heads to the 8th with a 3-point advantage. Colleen Jones looking for her 4th win at the Worlds. Canada's Colleen Jones back at the World Curling Championship for the 3rd straight year, and she's been exceptional so far this morning.
She has, and I think the story about Colleen this year is for years she's been perceived as the one who makes all the hits and not the draws.
There it is.
This is picture perfect last stand, John, and we go back to the Continental Cup when this shot meant North America had a shot. Is she making draws today? She's at 94%.
And that has been tough to battle for Team Switzerland, skipped by Nicole Strausak. Down by 3, playing here in 8.
Zie richtig. Zie richtig. Lengi. Zie richtig.
Talk about Colleen's draw weight. One of the things that really give you confidence is ice that is consistent, where you feel like from the 1st to the 10th you can throw the same weight, and that's why Hans Wuthrick is viewed as so very good.
And this will explain exactly what has transpired so far this morning. Player comparisons brought to you by Best Western, the world's largest hotel chain.
Some very, very solid numbers from both leads. The edge slightly to Bianca Roethlisberger this morning. Good numbers from both of them. No real difference.
You don't want to stay there. Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Good.
Shot.
Good shot from Nancy with the 3-point edge and last rock for them. No need to keep a lot of rocks around.
Lengi. Bist du an die richtig? 2. Richtig ist gut, nur Lengi. Komm wir jetzt
play the freeze down or somewhere in front of that red stone that belongs to Canada.
Marianne Way will have a fond memory of a great shot made here this morning. Ford draws 100% when she stacks up against the Switzerland second.
Two things about this first, that Madlena is leading the second. She is not having a vintage day at 64%. Marianne Way, these are numbers we have become accustomed to. For Marianne, we've seen a little bit of blips on the radar screen at the Scott Tournament of Hearts this year in the World, but she came to play today, and that shot in 5 was huge.
Marianne Way at 8.
Yes? Yep. Shot. Nice shot.
Peeled away. Canada still with the shot stone.
Sorry.
Fully in the 4. Colleen Jones has the hammer back after forcing Switzerland to take 1 in 7.
Zo nog curlen. Bij de curlen, Tia. Tia. Ga met te lang gelopen. Hurry. Hurry, vers Tia. Hurry. Goed zo.
Little offline there.
For Team Switzerland, though, John, it's important that they get rocks in front of the house if they have any chance at stealing a point from the Canadian team. They're not likely to get that from a wide open hit in the house.
Down by 3. Switzerland trying to manufacture something here. And Marianne Way erases another Swiss guard.
You know, we talk about some of the teams that are here, some of the alternates probably better known than the players that are on the ice, and no one more so than the 5th player for Scotland. On the right, holding all the papers there, Jackie Lockhart, the skip of the current reigning women's world.
A winner in Bismarck last year.
Okay.
Switzerland again just trying to get this stone in front of the house, but tight, hoping that Colleen might think about hitting the yellow stone in the house to drive it on her own.
3rd stack up this way.
Good numbers for Kim. Not such a bad outing for Nicole Strausak, but advantage by at least 10 points. Obviously here to Kim Kelly, the plus for Kim.
Yep, it's regular. Whoa! Whoa! No, 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 no.
And there's what they were concerned about a little bit, jamming there, but Canada still lying 1. Other scores, sheet A, Denmark leading the United States, skipped by Debbie McCormick. 8-5 there. Good tussle between Sweden and Norway, with the Swedes on top 5-3. It's Norberg versus Nordby. Scotland, and that's a final. 10-3 over Italy. First win for Scotland, and this is close all morning long. Japan holding a 1-point advantage on Russia. Nicole Strausak in the hack for Switzerland.
Canadian team not very unhappy about the results of the last shot. Start having a lot of rocks in play when you're up 3 points. It's not always to your advantage. So for Colleen, the fact that there's a tight yellow stone up front, you can be sure if it's difficult to get to this one coming in, she'll just remove it.
Hurry! 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 Hurry!
Canada's decision.
Yeah, okay.
Remove the yellow shot stone belonging to Switzerland.
Oh, fixing, which is not good right about now.
Kim Kelly delivers.
Well, and for Kim, she can see at least half of it. Not trying to stick around, just the pick.
Okay.
Shooter is gone as well, and that works out well for Canada. Update on Sheet B. The Scandinavian matchup this morning. Sweden leading Norway 5-3. Annette Norberg of Sweden facing one with her final stone. Both teams at 2-1 in that 5-way tie for second spots. Shooter is gone, but count 2 red stones for Sweden and a 7-3 lead on a 2-time world champion, Dorte Nordby of Norway.
Lengi? Dat is goed. Dat is goed. Veel plaats. Noem maar Lengi.
Kim Kelly successfully removing the stone belonging to Switzerland. Swiss team will continue to utilize that tight guard, trying to bury a rock behind there.
Hurry, touch. Hurry. Hurry. Hurry.
Nicole now playing for the tick and gets it.
Hurry. Okay.
The skips stack up this way, and you'll figure that Colleen Jones should be comfortably ahead, and proven there.
Here is that number, 94% on draws, and they have been precision. Colleen's numbers overall much stronger than Selena's, but it has been some of the great shots that Colleen has made that I think they take a lot away from this game, John, after yesterday.
We're pretty close to the broom, though, on both.
The second, though, I kind of was a fix.
Full
The first
fixation?
one's
Okay.
probably true. The second one,
I just don't know that it's moving as much as it
no,
was
I agree.
here.
I agree.
I would love, I'm just going
I
to throw
think this
regular,
does
though.
look
I'd
good.
love to keep this around someone.
Okay.
That whole stone virtually exposed to Colleen.
Yep.
First of 2 for Canada's Colleen Jones. She has the hammer here.
Hurry!
Playing 8. And that 3-point advantage. Delahunt and Way. Nice brushing.
Let's sweep, you guys. That's
Shooter hangs around, tucked in a little bit behind.
Well, that was a little
Good
move.
sweep.
You know, it was a pretty good throw.
But they have it, yeah.
Just by.
And he stayed. Who would have thunk?
Not a lot of room between those two stones.
It'd be nice. It would be nice.
A little bit of a roll.
I think she's hitting it.
She is hitting.
Marianne Kim worked very hard for their fearless leader.
That's good.
And this is why Colleen wanted to stick around. She knew if she did, the Swiss team would attempt the hit. Of course, at this point, down 3 in the latter ends, the other option is to draw and try to get that point on the board for your own team.
Achtung! Nee! Nee! Nee!
Well played. 2 red rocks are gone. House is empty. Spring is in the air. The Masters is just around the corner. Our coverage begins Thursday. Opening rounds Thursday and Friday on TSN. And the coverage begins with a pre-Masters show. Sunil Joshi will host that. So join us for the Masters from Augusta.
Some great sports coming up. Playoffs, golf.
Love the Masters. Just get the feeling, no matter where you are in Canada, that spring is officially here on Masters weekend. There's another storm blowing into Ontario today, I hear.
Is
So,
there?
yes.
Sorry to hear that, but for Colleen, just throwing it through. Retaining last rock, going into 9.
Nothing there.
Colleen Jones of Canada has been in control all morning long. A nice rebound from yesterday, in spite of the fact that Jones won yesterday 13-7. Canadian team has not missed a shot this morning. Looking live at the arena in Winnipeg, host to the World Curling Championship for the 3rd time. 2nd time that the women have been on the ice here. The first World Championship in Winnipeg was 1978. And the women
We're somewhere else.
well, yeah, well, they weren't playing until 1979
Where's your?
at the world level. been a difficult place for Canadians to win
Center line.
a world championship, the arena in Winnipeg. Looking back to 1991, Doherty Nordby won on the women's side, beating Julie Sutton, and David Smith of Scotland beat Kevin Martin.
With Hack? Okay.
Canadian teams in both finals, just not the victors.
Or just throw through.
1978, the first
What's
Worlds
that?
here. Bob
Or
Nichols
just
of the
throw
United
through.
States defeated Ed Lukowicz.
You
We
can
can
either
either
just
just throw
throw
through or hack weight.
Okay. Then
What?
on this side. Okay. Good. Yeah, love it.
Oh, I see. You're trying to get both.
Ninth end,
Hack,
Canada.
No,
Blanking an
back
8 to
line,
retain the
man.
hammer
Back
and a
line.
3-point advantage. 5-2, as you see there.
And of course, the reason that they're playing hack weight is that is world rules, and you cannot remove your opponent's stones until after the fourth stone
Whoa, sorry, whoa.
comes to rest. This is the fourth stone.
Whoa.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hard on yours. Take yours. Help me, man. Good shot.
Canada's really had the
shot.
pressure on Switzerland
Nobody
from the
knows what to do.
get-go this morning.
They
Really.
have. Canadian
Counting
team.
2 in the first, and the Canadian team has
They played very well.
played extremely well, in fact, yes.
Speaking of Switzerland, we should say thank you to our good friend Lou, who just came back from the World Juniors with presents for us. I got a Swiss watch. You got a pen?
Yes, I
Seems
did.
only
Very,
fair.
a very nice pen.
Kan nu.
See my watch?
It's very nice.
Fit.
Yeah, very, very, very nice.
She always liked me better. And her judgment's wonderful.
A little questionable, I would suggest, however. And Canada doing very well at the World Juniors. Steve Laycock
3/4. Yeah.
and Marlies Miller winning, both teams from Saskatoon. And the World Seniors, Tom Reed of Edmonton won yesterday, as did Nancy Kerr of Regina. So it's a sweep for Canada so far at the world level in curling in 2003. 4 championships, 4 gold medals.
Makes the double peel very nice, and also rolls her shooter
Great shot, man.
as far over as she can.
Canada still with the shot stone there in the 4. We're over to sheet 8. 9th end there with Denmark leading the USA 8-5. That's home of Denmark against Debbie McCormick of the United States. McCormick facing 3 for sure with her final stone here. So the Americans in a little bit of trouble. Debbie McCormick at 2 and 1, trying to stay up there with the front runners. Final stone for McCormick. And she'll get 1 back. It's 8-6 there.
You referred to Ed
Coming
Lukowicz earlier, John, about having lost the world final. Ed, a resident of Alberta, now working with the American competitive teams, trying to help them to reach a new pinnacle.
Hurry.
He's done some great work down there.
Over your way, Kim. Oh, great shot.
Oh, very nice shot.
Very nicely done. 2 yellow are gone.
That's the bonus, the one in the house. But that's why you choose your turn selection.
Just too fancy for me.
There have been a couple of fancy shots this morning
Very
by the
nice.
Canadian team.
That's why Colleen chose that turn. If you do happen to get fortunate, that's what happens.
Noch warten. Jetzt. Jetzt könnt ihr ihn an.
Jetzt.
Kim Kelly for Canada. Draw 7 on day 3 at the Winnipeg Worlds. Canadian team sailing along with 3 straight victories coming in to lead the way, and there's a flat-out miss. And it's over on sheet B. Sweden and Norway there with Annette Norberg moving to 3 and 1 with an 8-3 victory over
was such a great
Doherty
shot.
Nordby
It's Fieri.
drops to 2 and 2. So a big win for Norberg.
Diep.
A little bit of a miscue from Kim, just overthrowing the stones a little bit, and in that center path with a lot of weight, there is no movement at all. Canadians do have a stone in the 4-foot that is shot, but for Colleen Jones, at this point in the game, when you play the scoreboard, you really want to eliminate guards.
Zeer richtig. Zeer richtig. Oh. Oh. Zit.
Game's wrapping up rapidly here on the morning drop. On sheet D, Russia and Japan. It's been close all morning long, with Japan leading 5-4.
And for Olga, she's got a tough shot here. She needs 2 to win,
Open house.
but not playing the draw. She's electing to play a difficult split shot that's far out in the wings. If she's successful, she gets 2, and that would put the end to this game.
Russia coming in with a record of 1 and 2. Japan at 2 and 1. And Russia will move to 2 wins and 2 losses, counting 2 there, and a 6-5 victory over Iota of Japan. Olga Yarkova at 2 and 2.
You know, frankly, I think this is awfully risky.
Yeah, but if we... What about hitting this one thick?
Myself.
Just here to here, and then you get, it goes that way. That's what we're thinking.
If you're not,
See,
I'd rather double peel. Don't peel any.
To me, so long as she gets rid of this one, because what is she doing if we just get rid of that one
Going
guard?
to try to tap that back, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a hard old shot.
Yeah.
I think right now we're not looking that bad to score our 2 and put the game, you know,
Okay.
have a game over. But it's
Yeah,
this,
it is
it's that
cute.
guard
These are
that
further
bothers
away
me.
than they look there.
It's this
Yeah,
rock here that
I like your
bugs
call.
me the most. But I don't know how to, you know, how to peel it. The out
You'd
turn.
have to peel it thin on the out
Yeah.
and high. I mean, look, you can get to the inside of it.
Or
So
ignore it altogether
either
and.
peel them both. or
Yeah,
you cut
but
it.
then we're giving her the bump. See, I think we're. I mean, the double peel's great if you make it,
Yeah.
But God
You
knows
gotta
if
hit it
ever.
thick.
Yeah.
It's a real thick double peel. Yeah, they're further apart than they look down there.
I just
Well-
think that.
They're a little farther apart.
Yeah, I don't mind. I
Yeah.
don't mind the draw, but I don't mind just peeling that one. And then what's she playing? The freeze, and then I'm guarding it, and then she's got to do what? God knows. And then I can draw for 2. But I mean, here, if you don't make the double peel just right, if you ever just jam on that, then you're giving her the hit and flop. Suddenly you're giving her an easy shot. Right now she's got to make a lot. I don't like giving her that raised bump though. I don't like that at all.
What do you think about the straight draw?
I don't mind the straight draw, but I think my instinct is to peel on this one over here, on this side. Give her the freeze, give me the guard.
Yeah, the only other option she might have is to bump it back.
That's what she'll try. That's what she'll try.
This bump back here.
No,
I don't
bump
mind that bump back.
In turn, bump that
On
back
the red.
for her to lay shot.
Longest
Yeah.
meeting of the morning, Cass.
I want to keep things reasonably open too. This is the rock that makes me the most nervous.
But if we draw to set 2, then what does she do?
Yeah.
If we draw right here,
You could come right in on the in turn. It's just this peel is a little risky too if you ever hit it
is.
thick, you know.
Thing is the way
Yeah, I like that.
you could.
What do you like, Kim?
I like either double peel or come right in.
You like the
I
draw?
don't like a double peel. I
Okay,
don't
draw
mind that,
then.
but you know
Sure.
what? This still makes me nervous that she's going to be able to pop.
All right,
whatever you like.
either or is good, Colleen. The double peel is a little trickier.
I think I
They're
like the peel, you guys.
further apart though than I thought they were.
I don't see what this does for us, peeling this guy.
I don't either, but she's stuck on it, so.
I like the draw or the double peel. Okay.
Interesting comment from the
Long
hack. I don't.
meeting, and they don't seem to agree on what they've decided.
You heard
But here you go.
Kim say, I don't see what this gets us, and Marianne said, I don't either, but it's obviously what her mindset is.
Whoa.
It eliminates a stone in front.
Yep.
Final stone for Kim Kelly here. And she peels off the guard as requested. Next draw, it'll be Canada's Randy Furby. Perfect so far against Finland. That's coming your way at 2 o'clock Eastern time with Ray and Vic and Linda.
And what a great game that will be. Both Randy and Marco UC Pavelniemi both at 3-0 and playing very, very well.
How many letters are there in UC Pavelniemi? Have you
A
counted them up yet?
whole heck of a lot.
Hingen acht.
Almost looks like the full alphabet.
Nee, nee, is goed, is goed.
One of the options that Colleen looked at was playing the draw. That's the shot that Switzerland will do. Try to come down to the face of the Canadian stone in the forefoot.
Statistician David Moyer points out there are 15 letters in UC Pavelniemi.
Oké, die richting. Die richting, hurry. Hamid, Vesti, hurry. Hamid, hurry. Hamid, hurry, die richting, hurry.
Hamid, Bizanne, 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 Bizanne.
This might work out very nicely. Canada still with the shot stone. Switzerland is frozen to that.
Rock really, really curls hard. You'll see them working really hard. They're working because not only are they losing line, but because the weight is coming off.
Now, of course, this is all contingent on me having to make a guard. What? Yeah, but I always said we'd be doing that.
So Colleen is thinking of guarding that Canadian shot stone with that Swiss rock frozen to it.
Anyway, this is a good shot.
I just didn't want to leave her the bump.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to avoid,
I want
the
to
ability
tuck this around
for
that
Switzerland
run
to
back,
bump
though.
that yellow stone into the shot rock position and split something out there with
It won't be in the same spot.
the last rock.
It's a different card.
And Canada has
Little less ice, Nance.
the hammer here in 9.
Not in. Line's fine. Yep.
Gonna over curl.
Hurry, line.
Yeah, you gotta go. Gotta
Where?
go.
Are we opening it?
Just corner freeze
we
it.
are.
Not a big
Okay, well,
bump.
it's too late. It's got too much weight.
Yeah. Okay.
Not a good shot by
Well.
Colleen. Opens up that port, giving Switzerland the only shot they could have. She took less ice. Out of her hand it was going.
Well, and Colleen, you heard her speaking about it. She's not used to throwing guards. I mean, this isn't part of her game for the most part. And she was questioning her ability, this is Colleen herself, to throw a guard. Still has one rock to come with the hammer here, but an opportunity for Switzerland, perhaps.
Well, it is for sure to get rid of that Canadian stone. They've opened it up. She's going to throw a hit at it. Yellow onto red.
Canada leading by 3.
Yeah.
Switzerland really has to find a way to steal a couple here.
Shot.
Switzerland lying 2. Jones will be happy to give her 1 at least, but no discussion here as to what.
Well, that
Canada
hole
wants
that was open, John, meant that for Selena, all she needed to do was to get through, and she freezes this. For Colleen, that is a very, very tough double. What she's planning to do is hit it right on the nose and concede 1.
Get rid of 1.
What a
That's the plan.
change this has been in 2 rocks.
Shot of the morning for Colleen Jones, trying to avoid giving up a steal of 2.
Clean.
And a comfortable 3-point advantage as Canada has it right now at 5-2.
Nice throw.
1 gone. They'll give up 1 and retain the hammer. So Colleen Jones and her teammates from Halifax lead at 5-3 coming home.
Sorry about my
Jones
guarding.
looking for her 4th straight win.
Sorry about the peel, but
The The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you in part by Robaxaset, helping you walk away from back pain.
At the Ford Worlds, we're coming home. Canada on top of Switzerland 5-3. And the Canadian team, outside of that last end, Kathy, has been almost flawless this morning. A couple of little miscues there made it interesting for a moment or two.
Right.
And allowed Switzerland to steal one with a chance for a couple.
A tiny bit less of it, or less weight, yeah.
So that stone removed. Colleen's team trying to just tick that stone over. A little bit heavy. Sweeping by Nicole Strausak, takes it out of play. And the world rules different from Canada in that the rocks automatically go back. In Canada, you have a choice, but I think there's no question, even if this was a Canadian final, that rock would be replaced by the opponent. And so Switzerland, this is where having a lead, John, with the four-guard zone is not really a sense of comfort. We do know Switzerland will have a chance to get those two stones up. They will need 2 points to tie this game if they even want to hope to go to the extra end.
Schön.
Same weight.
For Team Canada will try again to tick that yellow stone over, not remove it from play, but just move it off the 4-foot line.
Off the center line somehow.
Yep. Go.
Nancy Delahunt.
Yes. Yes.
Hurry.
Hard.
Whoa. Yep.
Yes.
Whoa.
Hard, hard, hard.
Way up, Marianne. Nice shot.
Very
And
nice.
it's successful this time.
Very nice
Rocks
shot.
still in play. Over on sheet A, it is Denmark. Doherty home against Debbie McCormick of the United States. Denmark with the 8-6 advantage. And the final rock here. Denmark with the opportunity to wrap up the Americans here.
And they do.
Nicely done by Doherty home. So Denmark improves to 1 win and 3 losses. Debbie McCormick of the United States drops to 2-2. And the final score reads 9-6. There. Denmark will play Russia later today, and the United States will take on this Swiss team on the evening draw here at the arena in Winnipeg.
Now that the first 4 rocks are out of play, some great numbers from Marianne Way. For Colleen and the Canadian team, it's about elimination of yellow stones, particularly those in front of the house.
1 gone. 2 remain in play belonging to Switzerland. Swiss needing 2 to force the extra end.
The numbers for Madeleine have come up from with the last time we showed you. She's been making a lot more in the latter half than in the first.
Bis auf Centerline. Hurry, come in first, hurry. Okay.
Successful in putting a guard back up. A guard that Colleen wants gone very quickly. Just taking a look at where she would hit this stone and the impact it would have on that red one by the boards. Doesn't want to jam that red one over and roll in the house.
As you say, very nice and memorable morning for Marianne Way with a couple of very nice shots.
Good, Marianne. Good shot.
Another one there on
That's
ESPN
you.
Classic Canada. Jack Nicklaus.
It's what you bring to our show every morning, Wellesley.
Well, we're looking back to a win by Jack Nicklaus on the Masters Review on ESPN Classic Canada at 46, 1986. He became the oldest player ever to win at Augusta. So that's on ESPN Classic Canada, 9 Eastern tonight.
Lasila.
Bis auf Centerline.
Your Canadian curling championships are starting to become classics yourself when we're looking back through the years
I
of
was not
Canadian
going through that unscathed.
curling history.
Stief kop.
Yeah, well,
You two-time champ, you.
you.
Die golven gaat weten.
Kim Kelly looking to remove that guard.
Whoa! Whoa!
Kim's numbers dropping a little bit. That flash last end on that guard attempt would not have helped her.
Nothing in the house. And Switzerland quickly running out of rocks here.
Kim's last motion in releasing the stone a little bit in
I
out.
swear, guys, I'm throwing those okay.
Well, they must be going backwards then, because there's only that much ice. So, you know, they might be falling off the line a bit.
Oh!
The dangerous stone for the Canadian team is the long guard in front of the house. That's the stone that Nicole Strausak is trying to bury behind right now.
Hurry! Fast! Hurry!
After this, just 2 deliveries remain for Switzerland here in 10.
Almost coming out the other side, John. It just curls so hard.
Final stone for Kim Kelly.
No.
For Canada, she was disappointed with her first.
Get over.
Ever so subtly putting
Must
them back.
be a bit, 'cause
Yes.
the ice is
Oh,
not
the
enough
the first was way out.
Switzerland needs a couple to get even and force an extra end, down 5-3.
Just with feel.
Okay, we're good here.
Achtung, richtig schauen.
For Selena with one of her
Okay,
final
middle
2
center
stones. On this
Middle
first
center
one,
line,
will attempt to
German.
throw the guard in front of it, hoping that maybe
Zolang
Canada
gelopen.
noses.
Zolang gelopen.
And then they would throw their
Zolang
second
gelopen.
one in the house for that 2 points that they would need in order to tie. You can see it's just not curling enough.
Okay.
And that's why Colleen wants to remove the stone in the house and end the game right here.
2 remain for Colleen Jones with the hammer here in 10. 2-point lead coming home. And it could all be over with her first stone here in the 10th.
Some very, very strong numbers from Colleen Jones today.
Yep, yep, yep.
First of 2 for Jones here in 10.
Hurry!
She can end it here. And she'll need another rock.
It's all right, Skipper.
She'll need 1 more stone anyway. So the final rock to come now for Switzerland.
This is
Line
where
1.
you let the rocks go, John. If you know you're not by, hit the guard hard enough that it goes right out of play. Just catches a piece enough to redirect the red stone by the yellow one.
Anyway, right?
Everything was going along
You're good.
so well for
2.
Jones and Team
Tips,
Canada
though, the last down on this,
until
you
the
know,
last
just
2 ends, and then a couple of little miscues. And the door is open, at least a crack here for Switzerland. And Selena Breloux's final shot.
Jackie?
Switzerland lying 1.
Nummer
There are 2
bieten.
Swiss stones in front, which are
Hoe is
still
het?
in play.
Richting is goed. We hebben best aan, hè?
Does she have what she needs here?
Hurry.
Light brushing
Oh,
now.
oh. Oh.
Here it comes.
That over curled a little bit. If that rock is about 6 inches to the right as we look at it, all that Colleen would see is a little piece of each. Would have made it much more difficult. She has the entire stone and the forefoot exposed.
And this for the victory. Colleen Jones' final shot here in the 10th. All she has to do is remove one yellow stone. And Canada remains atop the standings with a perfect record through 4 draws. They have kept it interesting here, though, through the last couple of
Nancy,
minutes.
that
They
looks
most
like too
certainly
much
have.
ice.
19.
A little less.
That should be good.
Is that less?
Yep.
Clean.
Final
Clean.
stone.
Away. Oh!
Colleen Jones, will she be perfect at 4-0 after this rock comes to rest?
Atta girl.
Or not? Yes. There you go. She'll give one back to Switzerland. And it was interesting until the final rock. However, Jones of Canada moves to 4 wins against no losses. Switzerland drops to 2 and 2. One more game coming up for the Canadian women later today.
Hope our
We'll
families are here soon.
look at what's ahead after we
I'm
return.
glad that's done.
What?
I'm
Now
glad
we gotta do
that's
that
done.
autograph session.
The 2003 Ford World Curling Championships from Winnipeg, Manitoba are brought to you by Karcher. You'll look for things to clean. By Nokia, official wireless phone of the Season of Champions. And by Ford, built for life in Canada.
Canada's Colleen Jones takes on Dana Gasperi of Italy on the next draw. Canada leads the way with a perfect 4-0 record. It was not very much in doubt most of the way, and then at the end it got a little interesting, Kath.
It did indeed. Colleen's team came firing out of the hack this morning, played a great game, and that's why they're at the top of the leaderboard.
Sweden stands in second spot at 3-1, and then 3 teams at 2-2. Switzerland, the United States, and Norway all very much in the hunt for playoff positioning, along with Russia and Japan also at 2-2. Scotland gets its first win, as does Denmark, and Italy stands at 1-3 as well. Coming up this afternoon, we'll watch Canada against Finland. 2 teams perfect so far.
And playing really, really well. That's the key for both of those. It'll be a great shootout with the back ends.
UC Pavel Niemi against Randy Furby coming your way at 2 o'clock Eastern time with Ray and Vic and Linda this afternoon. Colleen Jones will play later tonight against Italy. Swiss Misses had a interesting morning, and this young lady had a terrific day. Marianne Way made some great shots. Colleen Jones looking for her 2nd world championship in the last 3 years is atop the leaderboard as we head into the afternoon activity today. The World Curling Championships live from Winnipeg, a presentation of TSN, Canada's sports leader.
TSN, Canada's sports leader. The 1999 Ford World Curling Championships from St. John, New Brunswick are brought to you in part by Nova Scotia, Canada's seacoast.
And it's over on sheet D, and a last rock takeout, a hit and stay by Anna Erikainen, and it's a win for Finland. Finland moves their record to 3-4, and Debbie Knox from Scotland is still looking for their first win. So it's shaping up to be a very interesting last 2 rounds of women's play, Ray. Colleen Jones needs a lot to happen.
Well, you mentioned, Linda, that she gets a chance to play against Denmark, and she gets, Denmark has to play Sweden, so there is a chance that one of those teams can come back, but she really put herself in a tough hole now with 4 losses.
Vic will be back with Ray for the draw 7 of men's play. That's Jeff Stoughton against Ulrik Schmidt of Denmark, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And Jeff Stoughton's team are on a roll. They are undefeated here at the 1999 Ford Worlds. Patty Lank is one of the leaders. She's at 6-1, and they are looking very strong.
There's all our fans.
Looking for a playoff berth, and it will be 2 wins required for Canada to make the playoffs. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's most watched sports network.